Rascal F. Kennedy, his camera decided it actually wanted to work. Welcome to the
Hello.
1K podcast, episode 119. 119, Rascal, you've been a part of like 5 of these in the hundreds of episodes that we have done now.
And I have fun every time.
But yeah, this time we're really like most of the time we bring you on for comic book stuff, and this stuff has comic book lore. But we're bringing on to a movie that you were really excited about. We're doing Prey from Hulu, the mouse overlords at 20th Century Studios. Now have not 20th Century Fox. They got that out of here. But Rascal, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We are not joined by Tej today because he was gonna come on, but he messed around and like had a birthday. Like,
He's
Who has a
36.
birthday? He's 36.
How are you gonna be 36 and have a birthday party on your birthday and your birthday party? Incredible.
I can't believe that Tej is now 36 years old. And I get
Me
to,
personally,
say that to him every
He's a
single time.
Leo. Yuck.
Me personally, I wouldn't be 36.
Could never be your boy. No
I
way.
couldn't be 36. it doesn't sound
Doesn't appease-
Such a nasty age, bro. What?
No, but happy birthday to our co-host. Getting a lot of love online today, but we will have him back on next week for when we do Bullet Train. So that is coming up next week. This week, let's focus on Prey from...
I might be back for Bullet Train.
Oh, yeah? Might be back. Let's see. Prey came out just last week, released straight to Hulu, rated R, if you didn't know, as most... Actually, Alien versus Predator is PG-13, right?
Yeah, it's the only one that I think Prometheus is PG-13 too.
That's weird. It's a weird thing to do by them, but I get like kind of why they did it back
took
then.
2 R-rated franchises, put them together, and made them PG-13.
For the kids.
Yeah,
I'm about to
exactly.
go look at Prometheus right now.
That thing got played over. Alien versus Predator got played over on FX until like the dawn, like until the sun will explode. That movie is always on FX or TNT or anything like that. But
They no drama.
They do no drama. 7.2 on IMDb. It's the number 1 ranked popularity movie overall right now. 71 Metascore. The origin story of the Predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. Written and directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Patrick Asen also has a story credit. Stars somebody who we are buying all the stock in.
Investing heavily.
To the moon. Amber Midthunder plays Naru. We'll get to her throughout the podcast, but buy the stock early and often, folks. Hammer it, I would say, on Robinhood. No free ads, but buy the Amber Midthunder stock. Dakota Beavers as her brother Tabe, and a newcomer playing the Predator, Dane D'Alerjo, who is a 6'9" former basketball player. If you didn't know that. Yeah, he. I wanted to look up his NCAA stats. Actually, I will now. But he played for New Hampshire, so a team that you all know and love. Let's see, Dane. Let's see. Let's look at his stats if I can find them. But anyway,
had no idea New Hampshire had a basketball team.
They in fact do. This guy is now a legend there.
Wow.
Hang the banner, hang the jersey in the rafters.
We got to get my man's jersey in the rafters.
Well, he played several seasons overseas apparently before calling it quits and said, "You know what? I'm just going to go be tall characters in movies." Because he's like something in American Horror Story, and now he's the Predator. So that's awesome.
Eventually, he'll be in a Game of Thrones spinoff. Like it's his lot in life.
He could be the young mountain.
It does not have his averages at his first college, or no, in high school he averaged 11, 10, and 4. So
damn,
and he's like 6'8". Come on, man.
6'9", yeah.
Come on, bro. You only averaged 11 points in high school. You was never gonna make it. I'm
Maybe
sorry.
he was, the defensive guru. That body in the
In
paint.
high school?
In high school, bro, at
Kendrick
6'9".
Perkins was throwing 35 in high school.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins was running Beaumont. Like, come on, man.
It's Beaumont, dog.
It's New
Dude, those
Hampshire.
teams were unreal. They have a banner in there because we used to go play and get our ass waxed in Beaumont. They have that banner up there that's the best high school team in the nation, like 29-1. And that was the Kendrick Perkins year. But yeah, they still have that flying proudly. But
Kendrick Perkins should have been the Predator, is what we're saying.
what a pull. Okay, sure.
Naru. Hey, Naru. We got it. Yeah, nah, bro.
Let's see.
Carry on.
This didn't make any money because for some reason they didn't release it in theaters. Like we said, direct to Hulu. It is the best reviewed Predator movie since Predator. And even the first Predator doesn't have that great of reviews. People have since gone back to the first Predator and been like, actually, this is very good and like one of the best, action movies of the 80s. But it wasn't looked on favorably when they released it by critics. People now appreciate it for what it's worth. This Prey has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 81% audience score. We know why it is lower because of the poopy pants. We can talk about that too.
I hate them. They stink.
Yeah, the rare action thriller that spikes adrenaline without skimping on character development. Prey is a Predator sequel done right. And I should say, I didn't mention it. We always talk about the length of films. It says the actual runtime is an hour and 39 minutes. Nah, hour 30 out of there. 90 minutes.
On the nose. Hour and 30 minutes. Credits rolling, baby. Turn that shit off.
Rascal, you love the Predator movies. You love, I think, the comics too. That's why you're so passionate about this. Tell us about your relationship to one Predator and what you thought about Prey. Give it a letter grade.
So I've been a fan of Predator since I was a kid. Like it's been my shit. I love action movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger is cool as hell, even though I do not think as highly of the original Predator as everybody else. The sequel is my favorite, and it's not just because of Danny Glover.
You really like that one more?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
It's
We're coming out hot right now.
hey man, I'm coming in hot. The first Predator is cool. The writing is just shit. Like, I get it. It's an action movie. You don't really care for dialogue. I understand, but it's a shitty written movie. Like the movie's written terribly. But moving on. No, Predator is just something that I've bellowed over. I guess because I like creature features. So you give me Alien, you give me Jaws, you give me Predator, you give me Nope, anything with a giant ass like Godzilla, King Kong, I'm all over it. So that's kind of been my thing since I was a kid. And yeah, the comics are relevant, but they're not relevant. Like they retconned a lot of shit in this movie. They retconned a lot. But it was worth it. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Amber Mid-Thunder, like we said, we are buying stock. Dear Disney, get her on the phone to play X-23. I don't know.
I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
Hey man, we need her in an X-Men movie. ASAP.
You haven't seen Logan, but it's basically like the clone of
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Then yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Get her in there.
I thought the movie was great though. I thought it was well written. It's what you want in a Predator movie. And for Dan to be able to do what I'm guessing he wanted to do in 10 Cloverfield Lane as far as anxiety goes, this movie hit that on the nose. Like this was perfect. The runtime was cool. Like to me, it was almost the perfect action movie as far as Predator goes. Like I said, it's everything you want in a Predator movie. It was hunting, gathering, a lot of death, and a lot of blood. That's all you can ask for in a Predator movie, man.
And the good guy wins at the end, which is kind of funny because it's like you build up this huge character in these Predator movies, and every single time they lose,
Yeah.
but it's so cool. It's so crazy to see them wreak havoc throughout these. But like the formula is pretty much the same throughout every
Yeah.
single Predator movie. But they'll lose at the end, but you're still enthralled. Even in the bad ones, you're still like, but maybe, but no, like the humans are gonna come out on
I
top
wonder
at the
how
end.
they're gonna pull this one out.
Right? You know?
The crazy shit is that they won in this movie, but if they go like if they follow the story, we'll get into it later, I guess, whenever we start talking about spoilers. But that pistol at the end of the movie, that's very significant.
Yeah, apparently that was a Easter egg that I couldn't find. Like they were talking about it, it's in the second movie, but I
Yeah,
couldn't find where it connected.
it's
That
at the end. It's at the end of the second movie.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah, Dex, you saw the first Predator a long time ago, so you don't really have the connection to it, like Rascal, or even like I do. But like, what did you think? I guess kind of like as a standalone movie. Like, what did you think about this?
I thought this shit is the perfect streaming action movie. I know some people are like they should have put it out in theaters, et cetera, et cetera. We can get into that later, but I think they nailed the formula for putting a movie out on a streaming service. Right? They didn't try and make it like this big overlong thing. They got
mhm.
in, they got out. It's an hour and a half long. Like you get to know the characters enough if you want to invest. Like there's a lot of character development in there, but they're not going to make you sit around and like just hear them talk for 45 minutes before we get into the action. They're like, here are the characters. Doesn't matter what their names are yet. There's a predator out here. Let's go. Like
Yeah,
you're
Naru's
in.
not gonna sit around and like contemplate her life and stare off into the middle distance.
It's like
Like,
immediately, hey, this is your main character. She needs to go hunt something that's hunting her. Nobody thinks she can do it. Boom, we're in. That's it. Like nothing
mhm.
else you need to know right now. That's where we're at. She has a brother. They're going into the woods. All right, cool. You like see her whole journey just as quickly as possible, but they give you exactly what you need. Nothing you don't need. They don't like leave out information that you need. They give you exactly what you need and keep you moving. And the action in this movie is like just dope as hell. If
Yeah.
you only watch this movie like while you're looking at your phone and like you just look up every time that you hear like a loud noise or whatever, you're gonna be like just fucking amazed by some of the action scenes that you're seeing because like
Mhm.
every fight in this movie is dope. But if you want to like just heavily invest and stare at the screen like you're in a movie theater, then yeah, you're also going to get a lot out of this movie. Everything is here. Amber Midthunder is my new queen. I love her. Investing in all the stock, put her in everything. Apparently, she's going to be in the new Avatar series on Netflix in like a pretty small role. They need to go back and expand that shit. I need more of her. And Disney needs to put her in the 360 deal to like just have her in every Hulu and Disney Plus thing that they ever make because she's incredible in this. The supporting actors are dope, and like all the scenes with the Predator is just so fucking cool to me. There were like just multiple times in this movie where there was a kill, or I was just looking up like, yeah, damn, like
There was times you were like rooting for the Predator, though.
fuck them up, fuck them
Yeah,
up. Like it was
Fuck those
amazing.
French people.
yeah.
Fuck them up, fuck them up. And like the kills were dope. It wasn't like too gory or violent or anything like that. It wasn't like cartoonish. It was just fucking dope. I've seen people complain about the CGI bears or whatever. That's a dumb
Mhm.
complaint. I've seen people complain about her being too good at hunting. That's a dumb complaint. Shut the fuck up. No one likes you. Your opinion doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, I love this. I think it's the perfect thing to put on streaming. I would have been cool in seeing it in a movie theater, but I think with seeing something on streaming, your expectations are a little bit lower, right? And
Yeah.
an hour and a half is like the perfect amount of time for a streaming movie. I feel like that's 30-minute episodes. Like it's the perfect amount of time. You don't feel like you paid I don't know, whatever, like 12.50 or whatever. You only got an hour and a half of content out of it. You know, you feel like you got in, you got out, you had a good time. And this exceeded everyone's very low expectations for a streaming movie, because you know usually you expect something like The Gray, like it was cool, but it wasn't like good.
And it was also like 2.5 hours long. It was long.
It was long, and a lot was happening.
What movie?
The Gray Man.
Oh yeah, man. Oh shit. Anyway, yeah.
Like, you know, that's about what you expect when it comes to like a major streaming movie, that they're like, hey, everyone has to watch this. It's at the top of the page on the streaming service. You're like, it's probably gonna be some bullshit, but like whatever, I'll watch it. And then Prey comes in and is above that. I think that's super solid. So I'm gonna give it an A. I really like that. As we've seen a lot of great movies this year, so I don't know where I would put it, like kind of up against the rest of what we've seen this year. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna watch it again and again. So I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, like I don't think it's gonna come in like, I mean, it might come in top 10. I don't know if it's going to break the barrier once like Oscar season and stuff comes around and all the bigger releases start coming out. And of course, like inevitably we'll have a couple of movies, unless it's been like last year. Like last year, a lot of those movies weren't super engaging. But this you know, this is, like you said, the perfect streaming film, because the barrier to entry for this, even if you don't know it's so low.
Yep.
Even if you don't know the Predators franchise, which I don't know how you've avoided it completely at this point in your life, like your dad or something probably showed, or you ran into it on FX or TNT or what, AMC at like on a random weekend they were streaming the Predator marathon or something, or an Arnold Schwarzenegger marathon. But like the barrier to entry to this is extremely low. And I was workshopping a theory that Hulu, Disney, knows exactly how to make streaming movies. I think they've figured it out. They have put together these semi-short genre films that have like zero context and you can just pop on, where it's like Netflix is heavily invested in, we got to get into the next IP. I mean, Prey and Predator is IP, but like we got to get into like the next IP thing from like a comic or a book series. We gotta
start some like
we gotta spend so much
franchise.
money to make these extravagant things that people want to see even if you're at home, like The Gray Man, or we're making these heady Oscar bait dramas. And Hulu's like, hey, you want to see like a girl fight a huge monster in the woods for like an hour? Like, yeah, that's dope. Like, you want to see like a cannibal comedy horror with the guy from Marvel? Yeah, sure, let's do that.
You want to see Andy Samberg in a time loop?
Yeah, you want to see it's these.
Palm Springs is also fire, so you're onto something.
I think that they have kind of figured out the formula of like, we just need these low barrier to entry genre films that don't take up a lot of your time. Stuff that we used to see in movie theaters, not stuff that we are currently seeing in movie theaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they figured out that it's better to put like a
mid-tier
like
movie,
6.5 like movie straight on the Hulu, and let everyone like feel like it's an 8.5 instead of putting it a 6.5 movie into the theaters and then having all the people who think it's a 1 be the only people who went to go see it at first and the only people talking about it. Like if you put, you know, like you put Prey on Hulu, everyone just watched it immediately, right? And so like the people who hated it and were like, why is this Native American woman so good at hunting? That's fake. Like those people got drowned out immediately because everyone else,
so many people saw it.
Yeah. Everyone else could just go see it like right then and there. If you put it out in theaters and only, you know, it has like a $30 million opening weekend, the people who are shitting on it because they're racist and misogynist, those voices are like super elevated, and that like kind of like drowns out the other handful of people who are like, yeah, that was pretty fun.
Exactly. And this is something that I wanted to like. This is being talked about more than I think it would be if it was just thrown out in a theater to go up against. Like Bullet Train, I don't think is going to like really. I mean, I'd probably go neck and neck, but if it's going up against like Super Pets and all this other stuff that people can go see, it's this hard R action movie. Like, I don't know, does it
With a brand new like star most people have
yeah,
never heard of. Like,
no,
Yeah.
and a director who's made good stuff, but isn't a brand name or anything like that. Which I'm also buying Dan Trachtenberg stock, by the way. 10 Cloverfield Lane, now this, and also episodes of The Boys, and one of the better episodes of Black Mirror. So I'm buying Dan Trachtenberg stock. He put together a really good film. I'm like you said, Dex. I'm not saying this is like a 6.5 film. Like I think this would normally be good anywhere. Like
yeah,
I think this plays anywhere. But like I said, it elevates it just like you said, it elevates it just that much more when you're able to sit down with your significant other with zero context and just clip it on. And you don't have to
Yeah.
go like get dressed up to go. You don't feel like your time was wasted, either when you go and it's like an hour and a half for 12.50 at a movie theater, you'd be like, okay. All right. Like we weren't there for very long, but fine. No, Amber Mid Thunder is fantastic. She was like a regular on like Roswell, New Mexico, a show that nobody
Yeah.
saw or
I
something. But
looked up her IMDb and I was lost in the sauce, bro. I have no idea what any of that shit was. Like I was like, all right, but she came in and she kicked ass. Like I really do think that she deserves more. Like
mhm,
I mean, her being on Avatar is gonna be dope as hell, and the fact that she has this relationship with Disney now, that definitely puts some sort of stock in her as far as Marvel goes.
right,
um I mean, we've seen her. She's apparently really good in action. So I mean, fuck it. Why not? Why
right.
not put her in the X-Men? So we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
For those of you familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender, Amber Mid Thunder is going to be Princess Yue, the moonfish chick. So
Hmm.
you got that to look forward to.
Interesting. Yeah, and she'd been in some bit roles in some big movies like Hell or High Water. She was also in Legion, the show on FX for a while. But yeah, she had the emotional weight to be able to carry. And something about just, this is going to sound weird, but something about just the way that she looks. She has these really like wide eyes and like kind of at points when she's scared, she's very expressive, and like at points when she like is trying to beat the shit out of everybody, she's got this like crazed look in her face. She's just really expressive and good, and was able to convey emotions when acting. And it helps that the Predator isn't like CGI or anything. It's really like a big dude in a suit. Like it
Yeah.
helps when that works. But she was able to really convey the emotions, and like we said, it was incredible action scene, especially we'll talk about it when she's throwing the tomahawk against like the French people around the campfire and stuff. That scene's been kind of spread around on Twitter, but it's insane. um i don't uh know, like, yeah, some of the CGI is a little wonky. Maybe I would take points off for that, but you're not going to fight a real bear or anything like that.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
You're not going to
uh
make the washed
A,
up former basketball player fight a fucking bear.
a bear, a fucking rattlesnake, a goddamn wolf. Like you're not
yeah.
putting those things on set in real life. It's just not happening.
Yeah, and they've had stuff in the past where they've used real bears and things, but they're not like, well, for what you wanted to do for this movie, where he
Yeah,
literally
Lifts a
punches a
bear over
bear in
his
the
head.
face, punches a bear in the face, and then lips it over his head.
bro.
You're not going to use a real bear.
It was like Conor McGregor and Khabib in real time.
That worked. I do kind of wish sometimes there was a little bit more backstory, but then again, like it doesn't matter. And I say this saying like I wish there was more backstory, but the best part of the movie is that the Predator comes in and is immediately hunting whatever. It doesn't have to have any sort of. It's almost like the shark in Jaws. It's like without prejudice or remorse or anything like that. It's like I am just here to kill the apex predator. That
Yeah,
is what
and they
I'm here
show
to do.
you just enough that you get it, you understand the rule, and like that's it. You just go, just keep going.
and that's
Yeah.
always been like the fun shit about predators, that they want, like they're there for the hunt. Like they don't give a shit about anything else. They literally just go to whatever planet and they're like, "Hey, you're really good at this shit. I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna take your spinal fluid, and we're gonna do whatever experiment shit that we do with you guys."
To
Yeah,
be the man, you got to beat the man. That's the whole predator ethos.
and there's a couple of things, and they do a lot of show and not tell in this, where it's like you see a like mouse eat a bug, and then the snake eats the mouse, and then the predator eats the snake, and you're like, oh, immediately. It's kind of a slap in the face, but you're also like, all right, that's exactly what and then you see a wolf chase down a rabbit or whatever, and he kills the wolf. And then it just keeps going up from there. Like the escalating nature of what he's hunting just comes at you, and you don't really have to think that hard of why is the predator. You kind of can find yourself being like, why is the predator here? A lot of the times we ask ourselves in that movie, and that's what they've kind of been trying to ask since the very first movie, like, why is he here? But this one's really like, it's literally just to kill.
Yeah.
It's literally just to kill and work its way up the food chain and find out what's the baddest motherfucker on this planet. And yeah, and it just so happens to be a Indian girl. So that was cool. It was also cool for sorry to the losers and haters and dipshits, of which there are
Of
many
which
on
there are many.
Fuck them
IMDb.
all.
It's so cool to see a First Nation Native American protagonist and female protagonist, because for a millennia we've had white people making Indian and First Nation people out to be the bad people, when really it's like, hey, maybe you're the bad guys. Like,
Ain't no maybe.
yeah, hey,
Ain't no maybe.
you're the bad place. And and so it's really cool to see that from their perspective, and to see the histocracy that they put into this. And also there is a Comanche dub as well too, which is a really cool feature. They were originally, I believe, going to do the entire movie in Comanche, but that was sort of like a producer note from the top down, like, hey, I don't know if we release this in theaters, how many people are going to see it. But they did do a Comanche dub, and I'm going to watch that soon.
Yeah.
It's on the extras on Hulu, which Hulu, your app on mobile stinks too. So figure that out.
Wait,
So,
do you stream movies on mobile?
no, I was going to watch it again at work. I was going to watch the Comanche
Uh,
dub on my phone, but you
That's
can't
how
find
I
it.
started watching it on my phone, and I was like, "Fuck this! I gotta like wait till I get to the house." Because at work, like shit, I was fucking eager. I was just trying to watch the shit. So I started watching on my phone, and like I got so fucking into the movie. I was like, "Man, I gotta finish this shit at the crib."
Yeah,
And
it.
Only thing I can watch on my phone is YouTube. I can't like none of the apps. I don't care which one it is. Like apparently Netflix has the best interface. I could not
Doesn't
watch
matter.
the entire movie on my phone. Could not do it.
and their fucking interface is fire. Like HBO Max's interface sucks. Peacock sucks. Hulu sucks. Disney Plus is actually okay, but for whatever reason, as trash as Netflix is, their
They figured
interface,
out the UI. Yeah.
man, their interface is immaculate.
They just been doing it for longer, and now everyone's like, we can't just straight up copy it, but like you actually can. You definitely can just straight up copy Netflix's interface, and we won't be mad.
No,
We
not at
won't.
all. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I like that Trachtenberg was able to make a straightforward action movie in a time when we don't have, like comedies, we don't have that many straightforward, good, taut action movies. A lot of them are Marvel bloated, like The Gray Man for what it is, and like we liked it. Dex and I did. Like, it's not good,
It's not
but
good, but
but
It's
but it's
fun as
good.
hell.
But what makes it not good is how kind of bloated and everything that it is, and this is not that. I give it an A minus. Initially gave it an A minus. May move that up to an A. I'm not quite sure. I got to watch it again. Like I said, I got to watch the Comanche Dub. But by Amber Mid Thunder stock, by Dan Trachtenberg stock, and yeah, then let's talk about some spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, it's hard. It's kind of hard not to spoil it because it's all just action scenes. Oh, what I wanted to say real quick before we move on to spoilers, you were saying you can just look up from your phone. This is why Hulu makes good movies, because it's like the second screening of things, like where at home you'll have your second screen, your phone or whatever. This is completely like that. Like you could have your phone and not miss anything in this movie.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah, and it's still good if you don't have your phone, but if you do, like, you're just gonna look up and be like, "Oh shit, that's fire," and then you
Yeah.
can go right back to your phone.
Exactly. This is gonna the YouTube compilations of all the fights strung together in this movie are going to do numbers to whoever puts those up on YouTube. They're going to have millions of views, guaranteed.
Also, another thing that we didn't talk about that's not a spoiler. It's just an incredible idea to be like, it's Native Americans in 1700s with a predator. Do that with every fucking time period. Doesn't matter. It's the Wild West with a predator.
Yeah.
Like,
Cowboys versus Predator.
Samurais. I'm sorry.
Samurais, fucking Knights of the Round Table with a predator. I'm in. Like,
they kind of drew themselves into a corner by saying this was the first Predator ever, and they put it in like the 1700s, where it's
and whenever we get to the sport that
we can start now. Spoilers now from 32 minutes in. Spoilers now from here on out.
Also, they can just be like, "We lied."
Yeah, bro. It would have been better to be like, "This is one of the first hunts," because they retconned so much shit that I'm actually kind of upset. Like, so the pistol. So the pistol originally was in a comic titled 1718 or 1715, whatever year the pistol has engraved on it. And it's about a pirate named Raphael Andoli, and that's who the Predator gets the gun from at the end of the comic. Like, after the Predator rips up all the fucking pirates and everybody else, it takes the gun from the captain, rips his spine out, and goes on about its day. So that was the origin story of the pistol in Predator 2. And they retconned that, which I'm okay with them retconning that. What they fucked up was Alien versus Predator, because in Alien versus Predator, they used the Mayans or the Incans, one of those two Native American tribes, to sacrifice. They would sacrifice one of them or three of them to get the egg for the alien and then go on their hunt. So they like retconned all that shit in a matter of an hour and 30 minutes.
That's fine. That's okay.
To me, those Alien versus Predator movies suck ass, so I don't care.
The second one is fucking trash, and that pissed me off because the Pred Alien, like that was a really cool
Predator Alien hybrid thing.
Yeah. Concept was cool.
Those movies took completely away what made the Predator and the Alien movies good, and what made those movies good was like not seeing the character and sort of being afraid of where it was going to go. What was interesting about this movie too that I wanted to talk about is in the first movie you're kind of left with not facing up against the Predator. Arnold doesn't really face up against the Predator until the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Whenever he gets naked.
Yeah, this one is like you're going to be fighting the Predator throughout most of it, but what those messed up is like they just up the violence and the stupidity like to another level that it just didn't even make sense for whatever sci-fi world that they were trying to build, which is hard to do. Like it's like we're here watching Alien versus Predator. we've bought in. It was still stupid, but anyway.
Speaking of the first Predator and Arnold getting naked and going face up with the Predator, that's something that I feel like needs to be said about this movie. Like I've seen like the memes been going around of like, oh, these like really buff dudes with like hella guns and military training stood no chance against the Predator. That was the point of the movie. Like
Yeah.
all
Yep.
those dudes got washed like immediately, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger took it out by himself, like naked
With
in the
a
woods, covering
with a
himself in
Native
mud.
American method. Like
Yeah,
that's the,
like,
Bruh.
that was the whole point of the movie. Like, what movie did you watch, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
See, the problem with those fuckers is they're like, I don't know what it is. They just believe that a man with muscles is and guns, if muscles and guns, bro. Like you don't have to have no brains, no nothing. If you have muscles and guns, you should be able to win a war. And I don't know how many times history has to repeat itself before they realize you still got to be smart too, dog. Like you can't just be out here with fucking like how many horror movies have we seen where the swole dude gets fucking killed?
how many wars have we seen where the guerrilla method like completely fucks over like the standard military method?
How
Like
many NBA finals have we seen where fucking the Warriors beat the Celtics? Like,
I just
it's everywhere you look in life. Like, this is
bunch
what
of
it is.
bunch of poopy pants nerds being like, well, how could like a 5'3" woman beat up was just like because she set up traps and things. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not
She's
that
fucking
difficult.
smart,
Also, it's a Predator movie.
It's a Predator movie.
bro.
Oh, if she's
It's
a
like
Mary Sue, how is she so good at hunting? It doesn't make any
people want-
sense.
like people want to apply real life logic, and we can't even say that it's real life logic because a 5'3" Native American woman could probably. We don't fucking know. We don't know.
Kill me.
It's
Yeah.
not like she went in there and ripped it apart with her bare hands or something.
Nope.
Like
She just outsmarted it.
she outsmarted it, like, which is
And
something
also-
she could do.
It was like going it beat her ass. It took her like the wits in the whatever shrub she ate to make her like temperature go down, which is a good twist on the method of like covering yourself in mud and stuff. Instead, she just ate something, which I thought was really, really cool. She also like had to wound it pretty much to make it an even playing field. She shot it in the head to like make it an even playing field. You know what I mean? It's not like it was like peak Shaq versus like Steve Nash. You know what I mean?
Steve Nash dunking on Shaq. Like,
Yeah. So
holy shit.
like it's not like Steve Nash was trying to post up prime Shaq. Like what are we talking about? But some of the things that I thought were really cool in this, obviously the scene of the French trappers against the Predator was insane. It was
That shit
incredible.
was fire.
absolutely nuts. And it's like when do you know that you fucked up? Because they were still like trying. He saw all those dudes saw them get worked, and they were still charging after it. Like, when do you run away?
I love them like shooting it with their little muskets or whatever, and then having to like slowly reload. Like,
That was
Bro,
that was
shit
really
was
funny.
fucking hilarious.
Oh no! Oh no!
Incredible.
I just, oh shit. And I just thought about something else that I'm not going to say that they retconned Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but they retconned that shit because that's supposed to be whenever the aliens were created, Prometheus, but like in Prey, the Predator has a fucking xenomorph skeleton as the helmet.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. It's like a partial part of the xenomorph, like the top part of their head.
Huh?
It's either that I want to say it's that or a face hugger, but it looks more like the xenomorph skeleton.
Interesting.
That's cool. What's also cool is like it's a different type of Predator. Like it's a redesigned Predator. Trachtenberg talks about that as well too. Like because it was 300 years advanced. You also were talking about like there's different species of like predators and things, and not to
Yeah.
yeah, not to get people were mad about that online, like, which is like, shut up, like, shut
Yeah,
up.
there's
But every
different.
Predator still looks like KJ Morton, Baylor
Of Baylor
cornerback.
fame. Oh my god,
Shout out to him,
the
Oh
dreadlocks always
wow.
cracked me up on the Predator. It's
dude.
just like,
He
just give it
just
dreadlocks.
I feel
You
bad
want that
like
motherfucker to be scary?
just
Dreads.
calling this random like college football player the Predator, but he looked like the Predator in his uniform and helmet, bro. Like he really did. It was
Yeah.
just unavoidable. There was nothing you could do about it. And he kind of played like it too at points.
I mean, when he decleated whatever poor wide receiver that was.
Sterling Shepard, I think.
Sterling Shepard, it was. I think he murdered Sterling Shepard on the field.
Shoulder to shoulder, by the way.
Yeah,
Not
we
a
don't talk about
targeting.
that enough. We don't talk about that enough. Go look that up on YouTube. KJ Morton kills Sterling Shepard.
I'm gonna tweet
I know
that
who you're
out.
talking about now. I know exactly who you're talking about.
They threw my guy out of the game in one of the biggest games of the year for like a shoulder to shoulder contact.
They brought him back though, thank God. And also we won. We kicked their asses that game. Shout out
Fuck
to the
OU.
blackout. Fuck OU. Something we can all agree on.
Oh yeah. Wonder why this week. That's crazy. No, the best scene to me, and it really kind of highlighted like how kind of frightening to me the Predator actually is, because the first one, it's like you don't know what it is, and then it shows up and it's even bigger and scarier than you can imagine, and it's like bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger and like has the weirdest face you've ever seen on like an alien and stuff like that. What's scary mostly about the first one is it's like the Jaws thing, like you don't see it lurking. What's scary about this one is how physically imposing this thing is, especially when they're like running through the field and you see how fast that motherfucker is running through the field. I was like, oh my God. Like, it is booking it. It has like it's the fastest thing I've ever seen.
They didn't stand a chance.
When she goes,
she did.
when she goes, no, it has us or whatever, and they start running. Oh, it's insane.
Also, them like realizing that it has like fucking laser guided like arrows and shit before they even know what lasers are. Like that's just terrifying. Like you have no concept of a laser at any point in your life, and you're like seeing this shit for the first time. Like that's just incredible.
I thought how they made it arrows instead of like lasers is actually really cool too. Like they're not quite all they still have to advance more a little bit.
I think it was more like, or the way I took it, I don't know, is like that they were kind of playing down to their competition in a way. Like they always had the more advanced technology, but at the same time, the weapons kind of match who they're fighting against. If I'm making sense.
Yeah, I just took it as like they also have not advanced as much as they will by the time the first Predator movie comes around.
Yeah,
that's how I took it too. But it was still just incredible. Like
it's still fucking dope.
Have no fucking clue what any of that shit is because like it doesn't exist in like your world. It's 17 whatever, and then all of a sudden like the fucking Predator as like fucking red dots all over you, and then you die immediately. Like,
oh man, that was wild. What happened?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? But yeah, my favorite scene in this movie was the fight with the bear, and then the Predator just like holding the bear over its head, and like you finally kind of see it for the first time because the bear's blood is just dripping all over it, and that's like the first time you can really see just what it looks like. Oh, that's so cool. That was so fucking good.
That shit was fucking fire. I think my favorite scene was the whenever she goes back for the dog, which we got to give that dog its credit, man. That dog was that
Survivor.
That dog was,
I was so nervous for the dog the whole time, bro.
I thought the dog was done. I thought the dog was cooked.
Bro, I did too, and I really was like, if they fucking kill this dog, I'm turning off the movie. I was at that point, man. That dog was special.
I feel like they knew that too. Like they were just fucking with you. Like people are gonna love this goddamn dog. They're gonna think we're gonna kill it. We're gonna just fuck them up. Like this whole time, we're just gonna tease.
It'll be interesting to see for me what Trachtenberg does next
Prey
because
2.
like Prey 2, right? The
Let us
Predator
pray.
Let us pray.
Well,
Prey
the
2
way that-
on my enemies.
the way that fucking pistol works out, they're gonna at the end in the credits, there's a bunch of Predator ships coming down to Earth.
Oh, really?
I didn't watch the credits to be honest. So
I had to go back because I saw people talking about it, and I went and I looked, and yeah, there's like a few. What the fuck is that?
What?
What's happening?
There's a bug in my house.
Oh no!
I don't have bugs in my house.
Update to the podcast, the biggest thing that's ever happened in this podcast history. We are now tracking live a bug in Rascal F. Kennedy's house.
It's the Predator.
I'll be back. If you
Rascal
hear
F.
me-
Kennedy now reporting that he does not normally have bugs in his house. He is on his way to kill said bug. We'll track the story as it. We'll continue tracking the story live as it comes to us.
I'll be right back. You're fucking done, buddy.
All right, Royden. I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Sure.
We got to talk about top movies that you would like to have a Predator inserted into.
Top movies that you would like to have a Predator inserted into. Can I put him in Schindler's List and have him kill the Nazis?
Yes, absolutely. 1000%.
The Predator is the hero.
The Predator, the hero of Schindler's List.
liberating
concept.
concentration camps. We'll do that. We'll do that quickly.
Yeah. We definitely need a Mission Impossible movie with a Predator, like
where he
that.
He fights
Tom
a Predator.
Cruise fights a Predator. He like has one made somewhere that he can actually fight because he always does his own stunts.
Right.
Honestly, any Tom Cruise movie with a Predator, I'm in.
Top Gun Predator.
Top Gun Predator. Jerry Maguire versus the Predator. Any Tom Cruise movie.
Can you imagine? But the Predator is not like a murderer. He is a competing sports agent.
Yes.
And he's coming for the top dog, Jerry Maguire.
Oh, I see. You're the top agent in the MLB. Well, we're getting you out of here. There wasn't an MLB in that movie, but still.
Hello. I'm back.
kill
Sorry
it?
about that. I don't know. I guess so. Or it's dying. It's either dead or dying.
What movie would you like to see a Predator inserted into? Not like a pedophile, but like the Predator.
I mean, I wasn't going to say Nightmare on Elm
Saying
Street.
a Predator is
in
much
there.
different. Saying a Predator is much different than the Predator.
The Predator.
It's actually a very big difference because
Big
it's
distinction, yeah.
It's like whenever you say a predator, do you mean like a pedophile or do you mean like an animal that hunts?
Right.
But
But,
the Predator.
The Predator, the one with dreadlocks here.
We got Schindler's List, Mission Impossible, and Top Gun so far.
Huh.
But he's the good
A
guy in
Predator-
Schindler's List.
He's the good guy in Schindler's List, yeah.
You know what? If I had to pick, bro, fuck that. Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Captain America versus the Predator?
Him and Bucky have to team up. They both get their asses kicked.
I could do this all day.
Yeah,
I could do this all day.
Or like Infinity War, Thanos gets a snap off, and then the Predator's like, okay, you're the top guy.
I want to see American Gangster and the Predator.
Good
He
fellas.
shoots Idris Elba in the street, and the Predator is like, okay, I gotta kill Frank Lucas.
Shit, fuck around. We could do Goodfellas. Motherfucker starts hunting for Henry Hill.
The Departed and the Predator, they're just like, which
Any,
one is the plant?
Jesus Christ.
pretty much any movie that takes place in like modern day or future Tokyo, like with all the neon lights and shit, I'm in. Like,
Gangs of New York.
I want to see Kramer versus Kramer, but it's Predator versus Predator.
Predator versus Predator. Predator and Predator, the Malcolm and Marie sequel.
They're just arguing in a house, but in the Predator language, so it's just screams and clicks.
Yeah, they're just in the spaceship. Just like...
Yeah, that's what...
And then every now and then you get like a big ass yell.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like they
What's
can do so
crazy-
much with this franchise now.
So,
if
like,
they're just going to stick to the formula of fuck it. The Predator shows up in a new time period. Like,
Bro, throw Predator in Star Wars.
yeah,
They should actually. Disney owns it.
That's all owned by the same shit. I don't
Star
see
Wars
why
fans
not.
would lose their fucking minds.
They're gonna tell you that the Mandalorian can beat the Predator, but I have a picture as my screensaver on my phone that proves otherwise.
do you really?
Yeah, bro. It's literally my screensaver is the Predator holding the Mandalorian's head or Boba Fett.
What the hell?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. But yeah, Darth Vader versus the Predator. I'm in.
Yeah.
Bro.
Can Batman beat the Predator with enough prep time? I mean, probably because Naru had a little bit of prep time and she got it done. So Batman can probably figure it out. But
He might. Shit.
Robert
Fuck around
Pattinson's
and-
Batman versus the Predator. I mean,
I just gotta
let's
put
do it.
some. I just gotta put some mud on. Oh, okay.
No, I
it hunts the top predator.
too bad it's not me.
There's Bane. There's the Joker. Is the Joker
Alfred, don't fight back.
Alfred, I gotta put mud on me. What?
Master Bruce? Okay.
Alfred, cover me in mud. No, what?
Master Bruce, we must not do this. Just put the fucking mud on, bro. Damn.
Alfred, being emo for 7 years has helped lower my blood pressure. It can't see me.
You cannot see me. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, this bit has gone on long enough.
All time.
Holy
Let's
shit.
see. No, I don't have much else to say. I'm like I said, I'm interested to see what Trachtenberg does. Like he'll probably get thrown in. He doesn't seem like a guy because he did 10 Cloverfield Lane and that was so well received and I think it did pretty well that like he could have done a lot more. He was developing this movie for a long time, the Prey movie. And then of course it got delayed, so he's kind of been working on this for a long time. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Of course, he'll probably just get thrown into like doing like the Fantastic Four or something like that. But I would be interested to see if he kind of doesn't want to do that or something like that. Like the call of that is really strong for a lot of young directors to, and he's not like super young, he's in his 40s, but it's really strong for a lot of like,
he's a man, he's 40
for younger directors to the bug is back.
It is.
To just go and take
I got you, bitch.
So yeah, well, I'll be interested to see what he does and then what Amber Mid-Thunder does. But
I'm actually wondering if, because Noah Hawley, the guy who's over Legion, he's producing a Alien TV show for FX.
right.
So I'm wondering if they'll just have Dan do that and kind of take over Predator from here on out.
Maybe. I would be interested to see if they would be willing to give him the reins to do it again and just like what realistically you said samurai, but like the next logical step, like Cowboys versus Predator would be very like if you wanted to continue in this same timeline, That just makes
Definitely
the most
better
sense.
than
Yeah.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Cowboys versus
Anything
Aliens.
would be better than Cowboys versus Aliens. That shit was
A movie that I swear when I was 15 was going to work and it didn't.
It should have banged, bro. It should have, and it came so close to being good.
until the end. Fucking dumbass movie.
It's like what is James Bond going to do outside? What if Daniel Craig going to do outside of James Bond? Cowboys versus Aliens? What? All right.
Which of the Olivias is in that one? Is it Munn or Wild? I don't remember.
Wild.
Wild.
Yeah, she wasn't great.
Directed by John Favreau. Many people forget. No. So, do y'all have anything else you want to talk about? Well, then we can talk about what we're watching and then wrap it up.
I mean, not really. It's just I'm happy Predator's back. It was a 4-year stint, and I don't need another 4-year hiatus. I need Dan to come on.
Well, we can also talk about that too. Is that like they took a step in the wrong direction with that Predators movie? So, or not Predators, The Predator in
They
2018.
Kind of stunk.
I like Predators more so now as time passes. It is way better than I think what The Predator ended up being. And that one kind of like flopped. Really, it made like 160 million off of the back of like an 88 million dollar budget,
Yeah.
which is kind of shocking how little these movies cost to make. But and but yeah, it kind of flopped. So you were saying, why did we put this on Hulu? That's probably why they actually put it on Hulu. We're going to get people to watch this and not have to worry about the numbers behind it. But it was good to see that they were able to course correct pretty easily with this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. All right. What we're watching. Rascal, what are we watching? What's on your radar? What have you been reading, watching, looking at on the internet?
I have been watching Sandman. I restarted that.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's good so far. I'm only like an episode or two in.
I watched the first
By the
episode
end of this week. Also, I feel like everybody and their mother, if you haven't, I am going to look at you funny. I'm 100% sure Dex and Royden might know what I'm talking about, just because I tweet about it so much. Animal Kingdom. If you are not watching Animal Kingdom, if you haven't
that
watched
TNT show,
if it's not on your radar, I need
That's
you
still
to fire.
that's still going.
Bro, we're on the final season, so I need you to fire up the Amazon Prime and catch up before the 6th season gets on Amazon Prime. And Industry is back, real television.
Dex, what are you watching?
Got to catch on Early Murders in the Building. I'm like 4 episodes behind in season 2, but it's still good. Shout out to my queen, Selena Gomez. Another Hulu movie I watched was that Good Luck to You, Leah Grant. Do not recommend. It's not good. It's not that it's not good, I guess. It's just not like fun. It's a movie about like this older woman who's like never had good sex before, and so she hires a very young sex worker. And like you would think that might be a setup for like some like very funny like R-rated comedy, but it's not. It's basically like Malcolm and Marie had the sex talk. This is what I wrote in my little letterbox review, because like it's just the two of them sitting in this hotel room talking about having sex and sex work being frowned upon and like all this kind of shit. So yeah, not good. Hulu throws some misses in there every now and again, but it's that's a thing that exists if you want something. I don't know. And I'm really excited about this new Netflix show that's coming later this month called Mo by Mo Amir, which is going to be set in Houston. He's from Houston. The show takes place in Houston and it's basically about his life. Bun B is in it for a little bit. Paul Wall's in it for a little bit. Toby's in it for a little bit. Like,
wait, who?
Houston as hell. It's called Mo. Coming to Netflix.
Is it about Big Mo or is it just?
No, it's about Palestinian family who comes to Houston like as refugees, and it's a little A24 comedy series, 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. We tweeted the trailer over on the Apollo Pop Culture account, so I'll drop the link here in a second. But yeah, I'm excited about that one. August 24th coming to Netflix, and hopefully we're trying to get our boy on the podcast. So we'll see if that ends up happening or not.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. Finishing up Blackbird on Apple TV.
Is that good?
The Yeah, I'm five. There's 6 episodes. It's very, very good. So Paul Walter Hauser is crazy in that show, but it's pretty straightforward crime series. So it's actually really, really good. Really good performances. Pretty straightforward concept, and it just kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat. I watched a couple of actual movies. 13 Lives, about the Thailand cave rescue from a few years ago. It came straight to Amazon. Viggo Mortensen's in the movie, Colin Farrell's in the movie, Joel Edgerton is in the movie too for a little bit. Um, Very good, straightforward, sort of like Ron Howard movie. But the problem was that I watched like the better version of it called The Rescue, which is the actual documentary over the cave rescue, which is on Disney Plus on the National Geographic channel. If you've watched that, the movie doesn't have any twists or turns. If you haven't watched that, then the movie is going to like keep you pretty much on the edge of your seat. But like the documentary, I think does a little bit better job of doing that. So I actually watched that too.
Is Elon Musk a part of the movie?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Why would he?
Am I thinking about a different event? Wasn't Elon Musk like supposed to go in there and like save them by
he tried to like I remember him like, if I'm probably fucking this up, but like he tried to like offer some sort of robots or something to do it or something like that. Am I like messing that up? And they were like,
I
no.
think that's what it was. Something
You're
like that.
Absolutely not.
Everyone was like, Elon, you can fix it, right? And he was like, yeah, I can. And then he ended up like getting sued or something, I feel like, because I don't remember what happened. But anyway.
No, they're not.
I was mostly making a bad joke, but
no, you're right. But like, he's not. Luckily, he's not a part of the. He hasn't inserted himself in this like he does a lot of other things. But the documentary and the movie are actually really good. It's a really awesome tale of like what happens when people work together, which is good to see. So it's really good. I would recommend that on Amazon if you have like an hour or 2 hours. And then I watched the first episode of The Sandman as well. I don't know if that's going to be for me. I don't know.
I still don't know what it's about because I didn't bother to watch a trailer or anything like that. I just saw a bunch of people talking about it all of a sudden. They're like the Screen Rant group Discord is going crazy. It's like talking about Sandman.
Shout out to my dog Jacob Campbell. He's like a super Sandman fan. He's the only reason that I even knew the shit existed at all.
It's like an acclaimed actual DC comic book. Yeah. I thought it was like independent. No, it's from DC, which is weird to see like a Warner Media logo pop up on Netflix and not HBO, which is like, I don't know how they let that get away. But it's interesting from the fact that like it's based from the perspective of a god and not from the perspective of a human dealing with a god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting in that it's a lot of like kind of high concept, high fantasy stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of like outside of like Lord of the Rings. I'm not a huge fan of like high fantasy stuff, and it's just not necessarily my shit. But it interesting, and the production value is high, so I may stick with it. I don't think there's a ton of episodes either, so I think like I may stick with it for a while. But also watching Only Murders. About to go watch that here in a second. And yeah, all the content. We watched Bullet Train. That is our next episode as well.
That shit fire.
So
banger. Right, hated it.
That. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it as much as y'all. Don't do this. Don't do this yet. we'll talk about Bullet Train next week. But that has been a podcast, One Take Podcast. Rascal, tell them where they can find your content.
Since my original Twitter account got suspended, you can find me at Rascal F Kennedy 1. Also, everything Full Circle Cinema, anything Full Circle Cinema, features, news, fucking reviews, all that. Full Circle Cinema, or what is our fucking Twitter handle? Full Circle Cine. There you go. And also, happy birthday to our EIC Jackson. So yeah, that's where you can find me at.
Go find him. Go find him there. Go find all of his Twitter reviews and movie takes and whatever arguments he's getting on with people about comic books and whatever else. Had one about the Dark Knight the other day that started a tizzy online. That was fun.
We love a tizzy.
Yeah, tizzy, a spat, if you will. So yeah, go find him there. You can find us all at One Take Pod on Twitter, Instagram, as well as TikTok, because we do have that thing. You can find the Apollo HOU TikTok as well, where we have way more followers, hundreds of thousands of more followers on the Apollo HOU TikTok. Rascal's been a part of a couple of those videos.
Yeah, Dex, don't think I forgot about you, dog. I'm coming back.
Coming back
I'm
for
up
the movie,
2-1, baby.
the Rotten Tomatoes movie Throne. So yeah, you can catch that ongoing series at Apollo HOU on all platforms, but TikTok is where it's been popping lately. A lot more baseball and stuff talk on the Twitter accounts, but also Apollo pop culture as well.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, tout that and the shirts, Dex. Why don't you?
Yeah, follow at Watch with Apollo on Twitter. We technically have an Instagram, but I'm lazy and don't post anything on it. So just follow us on Twitter. And you can go to apollohou.com, click on the store button, and you can find all the movie shirts that we have. The Watch Movies shirt, we have the Real Cinema Hours shirt, we got the Watch Movies VHS shirt, and the One Take Podcast shirts if you search for those. So buy all that shit and use promo code OneTakePod, ONETAKEPOD for 10% off. It's amazing. You should do it.
Watch Movies shirt and Real Cinema Hour shirts are fire. So thank you so much for buying those and using our promo code Dex. What else are we doing, kind sir?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh.
Always.
Don't worry, darling. It's like getting real close, guys. What is it, next month?
Very close. They're not going to drop another trailer. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, so in September that's coming out. But yeah, for Rascal F. Kennedy, for Dex Hinton, happy birthday to our co-host, Less Than Humble Tej.
Happy
We're
birthday, Tej.